Hello, friends. Today's topic is very interesting. In fact, it is one topic which has been requested by many of you, our subscribers, and they wanted to know, about the latest debate which is going on about the socialism and India being republic. So here we are in political discussion today. The words that spark as much debate and confusion and even the passionate disagreements as republic and socialist logger it out. So we thought that we will give details about this particular aspect. You hear them tossed around in new headlines, social media arguments and political rallies, often with strong opinions attached. But what do these terms truly mean? Are they just opposition for the sake of opposition, or do they share any common ground? And what are the real tangible differences in how they envision the society and its economy? So we are going to cut through the noise to unravel this complex topic. We are going to compare the contrast, which is Republican and socialist ideologies, exploring their core tenets, their approach to government and economy, and their perspective on social issues. Our goal is to provide a clear, unbiased understanding that moves beyond the stereotypes and help you make sense of political landscape. So, segment 1 is defining our terms. Let us understand what these two ideologies provide in terms of understanding it. So before we jump into comparisons, let's establish what we actually are talking about. These terms are often used broadly, sometimes interchangeably with other concepts, leading to misunderstanding. First, Republican. In the context of modern political discourse, especially in countries like US, India, Republican largely refer to ideology of the Republican Party or the Republican way of thinking. This generally is a conservative ideology at its core, and the modern republicanism emphasizes on number one, limited government. They believe the government should have a minimum role in economy and individual lives. Number two is individual liberty and personal responsibility. The idea that individuals are responsible for their own success and well-being with less reliance on the government programs. Number three is free markets, a strong belief in capitalism, private enterprises, and minimum regulations to drive economic growth. Number four is strong national defense, a robust military, and an assertive foreign policy. Number five is traditional values, often, though not exclusive, aligned with traditional social and religious values. It is important to remember that republic as a form of government is different from specific party's ideology that we just mentioned some time back. And we are now focusing on the concept of being republic, just like India is a republic of India. Now let's look at the socialism. This is primarily an economic and political philosophy that advocates for social ownership or control of the means of the production, distribution, and exchange. Unlike republic concept, which champions private ownership, socialism typically seeks to organize society for the collective good. And their key ideologies are: number one, social ownership. This means that state owns everything. It also means cooperative ownership with things like workers and businesses, etc., or communal ownership of the essential industry and resources. Number two is emphasis on equality, a central goal to reduce economic inequality and ensure more equitable distribution of wealth and resources. Number three is a social welfare, a strong belief in robust social safety nets, publicly funded services like healthcare and education, and policies aimed at social justice. it is crucial to differentiate socialism from communism. Communism has, proposed by Karl Marx, is a revolutionary form of socialism that seeks a stateless, classless society where all means of productions are communally owned. Most socialist movement in democratic countries today are closer to democratic socialism or social democracy, which aims to achieve socialite goals through democratic means within a multi-party system and often within a mixed economy that still retains elements of capitalism. Think of it as spectrum, not a single definition. Now we are moving to the next segment, which is the role of the government. One of the most fundamental differentiating factor between Republican and the socialist thought lies in their vision for the role of the government. For Republic, the mantra is often limited government. They believe that the excessive government interventions stifle individual initiative, innovation, and economic growth. Their ideal government primarily focus on number one, protecting individual rights and liberties, ensuring a framework where individuals can pursue their goals without undue interference from the government. Number two is providing national defense, securing borders, projecting power abroad. Number three is upholding law and order, maintaining domestic security and justice. Number four is facilitating free markets, creating an environment where businesses can thrive with minimal regulation. So, in this view, government is seen as a necessary but not an inherent insufficient entity, and its power should be constrained. They generally advocate for lower taxes as they believe individuals and businesses are better better steward of their own money from the government. The contrast, in contrast, the socialist, which is the socialism, generally advocate for more active and involved government. They view the government as crucial tool for addressing social problems, ensuring justice, and prompting collective well-being. Their vision often includes number one, regulation of markets. So socialism basically get into nitty-gritty of things, unlike the republics. So going back, number one difference in terms of governance when it comes to socialism is regulation on the market. So it prevents monopolies, protect workers, consumers, and the environment. Number two is provision of public services, ensuring universal access to essential services like healthcare, education, and social security. Redistribution of wealth also is one of their key goal, especially when the socialist government is in the power. Using progressive taxation and social programs to reduce economic disparities. Number four is addressing social inequalities, actively working to uplift marginalized groups and ensure equal opportunities. From the socialist perspective, a strong, responsive government is essential to correct market failures and ensure that all citizens have fair chance at a good life. They typically support higher, more progressive taxes to fund these extensive public services and welfare programs. Now we are moving to segment 3, which is the between these two ideologies, which is socialism and republic, how the philosophies around economy rotate. The differing views on the role of government directly lead to contrast economic philosophies. Republics are strong proponent of free market capitalism. They believe that a competitive marketplace driven by private ownership and minimum government interference is most efficient engine for the economic growth, innovation, and job creation. And they argue number one is competition among business lead to better products and services at lower price. Number two is low taxes and deregulation incentivize investment and entrepreneurial activities. Number three is wealth generated at the top will trickle down to benefit all segments of the society. Republic emphasis is on an individual economic freedom, the right to accumulate wealth, and allowing supply and demand to dictate economic outcomes. They might view government intervention in the economy as creating inefficiencies and stifling growth. So basically, they want, uh, when you're a republic, you want minimum governance to govern the life of the people, whether it is business or even their daily life. For socialism, while many forms, we know we have democratic socialism also. The socialism operate within the mixed economy that includes private enterprise. The core focus shift towards collective welfare and economic equality, and they argue number one is unregulated capitalism lead to significant wealth disparity, exploitation, and social injustice. Number two is essential services should not be solely profit driven but should be accessible to all. Number three is workers should have more control on ownership over the means of production. A strong social safety net is also necessary to protect individuals from economic hardship. This often translates into policies like nationalizing key industries, strengthening labor unions, advocating for higher minimum wage, universal healthcare, and robust social security programs, all funded through progressive taxation. They believe that economic activity should ultimately serve the need of the community rather than primarily private profit. So, we have explained the governance part of it. Now, let's move to the next segment, which is the social issues and individual liberty. Beyond economics, Republic and Socialist often diverge on range of social issues and their interpretation of individual liberty. Republic tend to emphasize individual liberty from government overreach on social issues. Many Republic countries align with traditional values, often influenced by conservative religious beliefs, and they typically translate into number one is a pro-life stance on abortion, for example, supporting restrictions or bans. Number two, emphasis on traditional family structures. Number three is focus on law and order, often advocating for stronger policing and punitive justice measures. Number four is support for religious freedom, which can sometimes lead to debate about role of religion in public life. So, in contrast, socialists generally lean towards socially progressive views, focusing on expanded rights and protecting for various groups and promoting social justice. Their perspective on individual liberty often centers on idea that the true freedom requires liberation from oppressions of any kind and economic hardship. This often includes number one, advocacy for reproductive freedom. Number two, strong support for LGBT rights and gender equality. Number three is pushing for criminal justice reform to address any inequality that exists in the society. Number four is emphasis on civil rights and protection against discrimination based on race, religion, gender, or their sexual orientation. They believe that society has collective responsibility to ensure equality and justice for all its members, often advocating for government intervention to achieve these ends. It is important to know that while these are general trends, social issues can be incredibly diverse, and individuals within both broad ideology camp may hold wide range of views. So now we are moving to the next segment, which is global perspective and real world applications. So in the real world, finding a pure form of either republic or socialist government or countries are very rare. Most modern nations, including the United States, India, operate on a mixed economy model incorporating elements from both free market capitalism to social welfare programs. The debate often centers on the degree of the government involvement and the balance between individual liberty and collective responsibility. For instance, US, while a democratic republic with predominantly capitalist economy, has government funded social security, public education and Medicare programs that have socialist underpinning aiming for collective welfare. Conversely, countries often cited as example for social democracy like those in Scandinavia, while having robust welfare state and strong public service, are still fundamentally capitalist nations with thriving private sector and free market economies. They aren't fully socialist in traditional sense, but they apply strong socialist principle to ensure social equality and quality of life. The labels like republic and socialist often become shorthand in political discourse, sometimes used to stir fear or simplify complex ideas. Understanding the core philosophical differences rather than just the party labels or the caricatures allow for more informed discussions about the kind of society we want to build. It's about different approach to problems like poverty, inequality, and public service. So, republic versus socialist isn't just about two opposing teams. It's about two distinct visions for how society should be organized, how wealth should be generated and distributed, what is the role of government should be in your life. Republic generally champions individual liberty, limited government, and free market. Socialists, on the other hand, emphasize collective welfare, social equality, and more active role for government in ensuring basic necessities and social justice. Neither ideology is monolithic, and both have evolved significantly over time. By understanding these fundamental differences, we can engage in more productive conversations, evaluate political proposals with greater clarity, and ultimately make more informed decisions about the future we want to create, whether you are in India or anywhere else in the world. So, friends, thank you for joining me today for this deep dive into understanding these crucial political distinctions. I hope this has clarified some of the common confusions and empowered you with greater knowledge. So, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, engage respectfully in the vital conversations that shape our world. See you in the next one, friends.